Hi, I just can't wait for you to meet today's guest, how his organization supports our communities and our veterans, and we will be discussing suicide awareness for veterans and first responders and special events in 2026 he'll be talking about. And did you know in 2023 there were 6,398 veteran suicide deaths? That is just blows your mind when you hear that. So welcome back. I'm Dorina Federici, and this is Let's Talk About Veterans because their stories matter. So please help me welcome my special guest today. I have Dave Zelaya from the Defenders Law Enforcement Motorcycle Club for Connecticut 1. Dave, I'm so glad to have you here today. And first of all, before we start anything else, you have a lot to tell us. I want people to hear about your service. Military service.
I'm excited to be here. Thank you for having me. I joined Connecticut Air National Guard in 2006. I joined with as an aircraft maintainer, machining, welding, and fabricating of parts, along with the heat treating of them. I've served as a junior enlisted council advisor through my service as additional duties. My biggest pride in my service has been being able to lead the honor guard for the state of Connecticut, honoring our veterans, military honors. Being the last one to put them down and just honor them. It's been a privilege in my career to be able to do that with the service. Our veterans have paved the way for us younger that have come in, and they sacrifice so much. So that's been my highlight of my career. Currently, I'm a manager within the maintenance department, just making sure that all of our members are properly trained and equipped to be able to keep serving.
Oh, that's great. I love that. I didn't know that part of it, Yeah. So I know you have a lot going on in 2026, different things that are coming up. So go ahead and tell us. These are all very exciting.
So I'm part of the Defenders Law Enforcement Motorcycle Club. As you mentioned, pretty much they provide increased camaraderie for law enforcement, military personnel, emergency personnel. And we're held to the highest morale standard like they do. So it's a way to come together. It's a brotherhood that we share motorcycle riding, and we support the community in any way, shape, or form that we can. One of the things that I've come across is tribute to fallen soldiers.
Yeah.
They're coming back to Connecticut this year. They start off. So their mission statement, they started off in 2009. In the past 16 years, they've honored more than 1,400 Gold Star family.
Wow.
And they start off in Oregon, Eugene, Oregon, and they're starting off July 11th this year. And they end at Arlington Cemetery on August 3rd, laying a wreath at the Tomb of the Unknown.
They start when? July what?
July 11th.
Wow, almost a month it takes them to do that. Wow.
And then they end Monday, August 3rd at the Tomb of the Unknown, laying a wreath there. They're going to be coming through Connecticut. It's a Monday, Tuesday, July 27th and 28th.
Oh, good.
So they'll be coming in. American Legion in Milford is going to be hosting them. And they do kickstands up at 900 hours precisely. Yeah. And they go out and they honor Gold Star family. Unfortunately, these are soldiers that paid the ultimate sacrifice, unfortunately, and they leave behind a family. So they have a beautiful ceremony that they do. They carry an eternal flame that's lit and it's escorted by motorcycle guide this eternal flame from Oregon all the way until they get to Arlington. And throughout the states that they participate in, everybody is welcome to join. They don't charge. The only thing that they ask is for a $10 donation to be able to pay for the gas and everything else that they do. And as mentioned, the American Legion in Milford is going to be hosting them when they're here. So it's open to anybody, and everybody is welcome to ride, not just motorcycle. They do not just say anybody, cars, anybody.
So when they meet you here in Connecticut, it could be people with cars can join in if they sign up to do it and things like that, or is go down to Arlington?
Their information, they can pick up the leg here, and they can follow all the way to Arlington. As mentioned, the host for that state host them, and they provide breakfast, dinner free of charge. It's complimentary. So that $10 donation goes a long way because the whole state and who's hosting them, it can be an Elks Lodge, American Legion, VFW Post. They open the doors to these members and be able to travel and carry it through their mission.
Yeah, that's really nice. Now, who started this, though? Where did it?
So the member that started this, his name is Warren. He does have a Facebook page if anybody would like to follow. It's called Tribute to Fallen Soldier Northwest.
Okay.
That's where they start.
Right.
So that's where it originated
Right.
from. The gentleman's name is Warren Williamson.
Yep.
And it's grown exponentially. He started off with just a few states, and now it's Oregon to Arlington. And every year it changes, so the route changes. But this year they're coming back through Connecticut.
Oh, that's good. That's
So
good.
it's an exciting. I'm kind of helping him out as a POC to Connecticut to be able to get the word out and help him with any additional support he may have or any ideas that he may have to try to help carry it through.
Right. Now, do Gold Star families get involved in this in any way, or can?
So the Gold Star family at times, because they are not excited is not the proper word.
Right.
It's the honor that their members aren't being forgotten. Through my military service as an honor guardsman, there was something that always stuck out to me. Our service member, unfortunately, can carry through to death. The first one is a physical when we lay him to rest, and the second one is when we're forgotten. So that's what they do is very humbling to be able to keep these soldiers, preventing them from having that second death.
Right.
So the Gold Star families at times they open doors, and they try to even cater to this mission, and they ask nothing from the Gold Star family. They've already paid an ultimate sacrifice. It's just the community trying to just remember their fallen, their family member, and be able to just know that community support is there. Right.
And that's beautiful that we do that we do honor. I mean, I know at one time it was Gold Star Mothers because years ago that's what it was. You know, it was the moms sending them off and whatever. Now doing it as Gold Star families is just so nice because, as you know, we had the sister of a fallen Vietnam soldier whose name is on it. So Gold Star family, you know, that's what it means. It's the whole family. It's not just the parents. It's the kids. It's the husbands, the wives. It's everybody. So it's beautiful to see that honoring the families because they deserve it. Yeah, they deserve it.
They truly do. And then an event that we're hosting as a Defenders Law Enforcement Motorcycle Club is going to be September 26th. You mentioned it. It's a suicide awareness ride. We unfortunately lose a lot of members to that cause.
Right.
And it's sad. They just fought overseas for our freedoms. And to come home to lose the battle is very disheartening.
Yeah.
And there are resources, and at times I think community has done well getting away from the stigma that because we're soldiers, we got to toughen up. And the community support it's a huge thing. A lot of resources are out there for members, and at times it's just letting members know. And that's what our suicide awareness ride is for. Right. We try to bring in community, bring in resources so that whoever joins our rides, it's rain or shine, whoever joins our ride can be knowledgeable. Right. You don't have to be a service member to know about suicide awareness. It affects law enforcement. It affects everybody. Unfortunately, first responder militaries at times are the ones that get hit the most because of the stuff that we see.
Right.
I'm also a volunteer firefighter, so on the first responder side, I've seen it, and at times it's nice to have a source to be able to decompress.
Absolutely.
For me, is the joy of writing and what the writing community does for my mental health.
Right.
So that's what our ride is for. I'm leading that charge on behalf of the Defenders, and I'm in contact with trying to get support, resources, anything that can come out to help promote and get our word out for the suicide awareness. It's
definitely
close and dear to my heart, and we got to take care of our service member when they come back home. And
absolutely.
Community definitely has come a long way. And I was just getting the information out. There is help, there is support. I know at times service member can feel like there's nothing out there, so it's getting the word out.
Yeah, and I think it's just like you said. People just expect, oh, you'll be fine. There's support for you. You have the VA. You can do this. You can, and it's not that easy. It's not that easy. Yeah. So it's great that you're doing that. So that is again when you're doing that, September
26, 2026.
And where does the ride go?
So the ride we have. I was overwhelmed with support from Windsor Locks VFW. So that's where our ride is going to kick off, from Windsor Locks VFW. Time we haven't determined, but it's going to be probably your standard time, somewhere around. It's going to be a staggered formation. So you show up, you register, and you go out in small groups. It's not a ride, it's a poker run. Your scattered poker run.
So what does that mean, besides playing poker?
So we're gonna have a few stops.
Okay.
It's gonna go through VFWs. So VFWs, once again, they also have a common mission as we do as the Defender. It's the camaraderie. VFW, ever since COVID, are having a hard time keeping their doors open.
Yeah.
So we're coming together with the VFWs in Connecticut to help bring awareness. VFW is not just for veterans, and I think that's where, at times, there's that miscommunication.
Did you think that's what it is?
You have to be a veteran to be at a VFW. Right. VFW is open to their local community. Windsor Locks, Rocky Hill, East Hampton, and Willimantic are the VFWs that are supporting us in our run.
That's great.
And I want to be able to bring people to these VFWs so that they know. They offer hall rentals for birthday parties, weddings,
right.
But you don't have to be a service member. But they help service members also. So supporting a VFW, you're indirectly supporting a veteran because that's what the VFW mission is to carry out, to support veterans.
That's great.
So it's nice that I've been able to work with them this year. So we're going to start off Windsor Locks VFW, and we're going to end at Rocky Hill VFW.
Oh, good. I'll meet you there.
So it's scattered. People come.
Anybody can come, right?
This one's mostly motorcycles.
No, but I mean, can we meet you at the VFWs?
Yes, you can meet us at the VFWs. Yeah. You guys can stop by the VFWs. You're welcome to meet us at the end and support us at the end. We're going to have, this year's going to be food trucks.
And the end is in Rocky Hill?
The end is going to be Rocky Hill VFW.
On Celestine Highway? Is that what it is?
No, it's on Main Street, right down the road from the fire department.
Yeah.
Yep, it's the one with the big tank.
It turns from Celestine, it turns into Main Street once you hit Rocky Hill. But yeah, I know where it is. Yep. So hey, I'll get a whole bunch of us there.
Yep, we'll be there and celebrate. Pretty much, for the run itself, for the motorcycle, it's just you draw a card, and then at the end, best card, and we're gonna have raffles. We're going to have, like I mentioned, resources to veterans, not just for veterans, but just for people to know, because everyone likely to be in contact with veterans. And at times, we can tell when someone might be having an off day and just asking, hey, are you doing well? And then just knowing the resource, because you never know when that resource might come in handy. So that's what I'm trying to get out there, just people knowing resources, because suicide affects everybody.
Right. And I think a lot of it is being with people that have gone through what you went through too helps. Like they know you were, you're a veteran, and I think veterans feel comfortable with each other type thing, so like what I have said before is like my son's coming back from Iraq. I know my Marine, the full-time Marine, once he got back from Iraq, it was almost, he had that little bit of time home, but it was almost like he really wanted to go back to base because that's where the like-minded people that knew what he went through. So I think being with each other helps a lot too.
Yes,
it's a great support.
We all get busy in our lifetimes. Yeah. There's a lot going on. Things have changed. Mm-hmm. Social media is out there to help communicate. Mm-hmm. It's a good and a bad at times, but it's all how you use it. But the overwhelming stress is still there, unfortunately.
It is.
And just at times we don't get to be able to sit down and talk, and social media becomes a platform for us to communicate. So these events to just come together physically means great, and just meeting another fellow veteran, meeting someone else that shares that same concept of first responder, and then just knowing the resources. There's people there that can understand and are willing to understand and give us first responders and law enforcement veterans the time to sit down and hear us out. At times, that's all a veteran needs. It's just someone to hear them out, whether it be a fellow veteran also, or just someone that's willing to hear them out. That can at times make a difference between that thought and that thought turning into action, or just being able to vent about that thought. Yeah. So it's just, we're all busy. Life gets in us, but that time is precious.
And I love that you are giving so much to the community, to others. You've been there, you know it, but it's not just in one area. You are giving it in all aspects, all around, that have to do with veterans, their families, and I just love that. I love the way you and your organization came and helped us. You showed up at a meeting like, oh, look at these guys. Who are they? But I have to tell you guys, the Defenders, you guys were amazing. You really were amazing, helping in so many ways. Excuse me. But is there other things going on with the Defenders, or is that
So
basically?
we did have another thing that helps support us to help build camaraderie. It's gonna be right now. It's gonna be a work in progress. We host bike nights. That's open to everyone. It normally it's been at Hooters in Silas
I
Dean.
know.
Unfortunately, the closure of Hooters it's forced us to look at a new venue. We don't know where that new venue might be. We have reached out to some potential
Places.
locations, and the bike night. A lot of people at times really get it confused. It's bike night for the bike community, but if you're a bike enthusiast and you like bikes, it's awesome to just show up and be
Right.
able to see some custom bikes. 'Cause custom bikes show off, one off, custom paint jobs. It's awesome to see. And Hooters did pretty well with that support
Right.
because people that it was an open public place and they didn't know about bike night, but once they showed up and they would see the bikes,
Yeah.
they would ask about when's the next bike night.
Right.
So it's just at times that word being able to get out there, and once again, those bike nights support us to be able to keep doing stuff within the community. Unfortunately, at times the financial aspect does hinder stuff. So these are our ways to be able to bring some financials in to then be able to return it
Right.
back to the community. We're a nonprofit. We take nothing home. Our joy of writing and our career brings us together to keep each other safe and being able to support back to the communities.
Right. Right. That is wonderful. And then um, you have an email people can send stuff if they want to know more information on anything. Can they email you?
Yes, my email first name David David .Zelaya Z as in zebra ELAYA at sbcglobal.net.
Great. Great. And
Um,
this way, if they want to know more information about the ride for the Gold Star families, or even the other one that you're doing for suicide awareness, they can just ask you questions that way too.
Yep,
And we'll
they
do
can
it.
feel free to call me. I can share all the information that I have and
Great.
any support that wants to come our way or be able to help. Or we're open.
Right.
It's always a saying, it takes a village to raise a kid. It takes a village to just support each other too, come
That is
together.
so true.
It's not just a kid; it's
No,
just everybody.
it's
It takes
everybody.
a village to be able to, in this sense, stay with a good mental health.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mm.
And what did you think when you were helping out at the wall? I know you
Uh,
took the night shifts a lot,
yeah,
right?
we took the night shift. It's the shift doesn't matter for service members.
Yeah.
We're 24/7, and it's what it meant.
Yeah.
To be able to stand guard, to protect
Hmm.
law enforcement, protect and serve
Yeah.
veterans. We protect and go and serve and protect our freedoms. It,
Yeah.
it was fun, and I was honored. I shared the photo that I took.
It was
It was
gorgeous.
speechless. It was a speechless to see the sun rise. Um, my biggest things that I enjoy is mythology of a phoenix
Yeah.
rising from the ashes. Right, we all
Yeah.
get kicked down, we all fall down, but it's standing back up and raising ourselves up. And
Absolutely.
that photo with the sunrise and the wall,
It was
and just
beautiful.
it was just the complete darkness and the way it
Yeah.
stood out. It left me speechless.
Yeah.
It just I can't explain the feeling. So for me, it was just an
I'll
honor.
try and share that photo when we put the video up. I'll send the photo so they can put that on there, the one you gave me. It's just amazing to see the beauty of the Vietnam Wall with the lights on it and then the sunrise coming. There's just a serenity about everything. It's just so serene
Yeah.
to watch, to see.
To me, during my honor guard experience, Vietnam felt real close to me. Just learning
Yes.
about that war.
Yeah.
A very sad experience those veterans went through,
Yeah.
and at times those are our veterans, especially that need that listening ear.
Absolutely. And
But
we
every
saw
veteran needs
that.
it. Yeah.
We saw that when it was here. You could see them when the veterans came. You could tell,
Yeah.
who was a Vietnam vet, or you can tell, and
Mhm.
it was just beautiful, and it was sad. But I was happy we were able to bring it to them.
Yeah, and I
You
think
know.
I think for some people at times it's just that closure.
Yeah.
Just being able to get that closure that maybe they didn't get it during
Right.
their service, but they're able to get it now.
Right.
And
Yeah.
I was speechless. It was a great honor,
Yeah.
and I'm always thrilled to see what else communities do and how else
Yeah.
I can support and how we as defenders can support.
Yeah.
We're a small group right now. Unfortunately, with law enforcement, they're having a lot of places are having short staff. So unfortunately, a lot of our members can't be there at times, and we're a small organization. Some people have had to choose job or being able to
Right.
ride with the club, and unfortunately, financial is
It's the way
always
it
good.
is. I know.
But we're a small group. We do our best to be out there. The club is made up of 70% law enforcement,
Wow.
and then 30% are pretty much Good Samaritan, first responder, military, and our 30% currently is really service members, veterans that serve within our club. So we do our best. You might see one or two of us. You might see at least half of us,
There you
5
go.
or 6. But we definitely try
Yeah.
to show up, and we have great network with other fellow motorcycle law enforcement clubs that we'll share the word. We show up in numbers, not just us, but our fellow
Yeah.
brothers in arms and law enforcement motorcycle clubs. We
Right.
spread the word, and we show up for our community.
Yeah.
I know the Punishers, another club
Yeah.
you guys worked with.
Yeah, it was great.
We're
It
real
was great.
close with them also,
Yeah.
and we communicate
Between the
very well.
Punishers and you, I mean, there were so many motorcycles. When I met you guys for the escort, I was like, where did everybody come from? It was like, oh, I was just thrilled. I had no idea.
And one thing I've learned, I'm not a law enforcement myself, but I am a firefighter. But I've I've learned with being with the law enforcement motorcycle clubs and that community there, they protect and serve,
Yeah.
but they take it a little step further because they keep serving even outside as a with the camaraderie of
Yeah.
riding together and still continue to serve the communities and
Absolutely.
showing up. So it's been an honor, and I feel so honored being part of the club. I feel honored being a veteran and being able to just step up.
Yeah.
As I mentioned, veterans have paved way for me as a service member currently serving to have stuff they didn't have.
Right.
So I owe it to them. I owe it to them, their families, to
Yeah.
show up when I can. Time is not a
And that
matter.
says a lot. That says a lot. So you could very easily say, I did my thing. I'm doing it. Bye-bye now. But you've given and you continue to give. So does, the rest of the organization. And that's what's beautiful about it.
Yeah.
You don't just sit back.
Yeah, and I mean, as I mentioned, at times life does get busy, but even if it's just a word, I will help spread
Yep.
messages. I will help spread contacts. And if I can't be there, at least I'm doing a part to still
Right,
continue
to
to
be it.
serve and get someone there. We'll get
Right.
someone there.
Yep. Oh,
Some shape or form, we're going to get someone
that's right.
there.
Yeah. Well, so I want to thank you and the Defenders for all the help that you gave us when the tribute was coming here. You really did. Your guidance in so many ways. So I want to thank you with that. And if your organization is having events for veterans or first responders, please just email me. We'll get it out there so everybody can see what's going on. So you can check our Facebook page, America's Freedom Tribute, and our website, americasfreedomtribute.org. But we also have our YouTube channel, America's Freedom Tribute, and you can see a lot of these podcasts also there and other things that we post for our military. So thank you again for listening, and thank you again, Dave. I appreciate it so much.
Thank you for having me.
And I want to thank you all for listening. Remember, veterans' voices matter today and every day, and keep our troops and their families in your prayers. Thank you again. Until next time.